make an excellent hunter.
Inbox messages await the operator. I wonder what they say.
Okay, so that's a bug. That thing right at the corner there that says 5 meters, that's actually a bug. That's actually the 5 meters I am from my navigation. That shouldn't be showing up in the cinematic whatsoever. So maybe I should just go back and stay away from it.
Nora Knight keeps saying Narmer isn't dead. Someone new is at the top. All she knows is a name. Hazul. Well, guess what, Tenno? I have a lead. I detected a dot code signal broadcast from inside a Murex. It only says one thing over and over again. Need reinforcements. It's probably one of the freedom fighters Nora keeps talking about. If they made it into a Murex, they have to know about Pazul. Come on, Tenno, say you'll help.
I'm asking this question because I want to know how long it would take me to finish it before I could get to 30 minutes. Okay, so that's pretty long. An entire story that's well, that's not really long. A single quest for a guy is not for Stynex is not that long. I should have more than enough time to do the bills. Oh yeah, I should have more than enough time to do at least two Warframe builds today, showcasing two Warframe and do this quest at the same time.
Alright, you're in. I hope you prove me wrong. I've been burned before. I was wrong. Alright, what can we help you with?
Okay, so it's the same thing, but at least this time I don't have to worry about the little bug interrupting the scene. You see, every time I make a build, I think I make a perfect build, but then I realize I made a screwed up build. Because for this Warframe, you need steel paths in order for, because, I mean, not steel paths, you need steel fibers. Because what nourishes her fire is her armor, or should I say her flames nourish her armor to become thicker. Um, so that's important, equally as important as having vitality on. But you also need adaptation. So it's really a pain in the ass when you don't get things the way you wanted to get them, and then you're thinking about it and you think about it and you think about it again multiple times. When you say, well, I guess I might have screwed up somewhere, because typically what I do is I put streamline and fleeting expertise because this is a warframe that drains energy. But I keep forgetting that they got rid of her ability to drain per second. From our fourth, actually no, it's still there. Drain per second, damage. No, that's damage per second, not drain per second. Damage per second. Yeah. So they got rid of drain. I keep thinking that this is the old her from back in the days. They got rid of drain per second on her. Drain per second is only on the second one. That's why I wanted to make sure I have two, one for fleeting and the other for streamline. But then I realized then this is here, and I need adaptation to be on every warframe. So that's where I realized that I screwed up. But then I thought about it. Well, I didn't really screw up, because you always need extra power strength for your warframe, and that's always essential, especially if you want them to do good damage output. So the only thing that would make sense that I screw up in is this slot, which is supposed to be adaptation. Um, but then that's a gamble as well, because then you always need that 175. So it's really a decision that you have to make with regards to what you want to have on. Do you really need more strength, or is this good enough? Is this good enough for power strength? And I guess you could add a little bit extra here and add more here to get it at least close to 200, and then you put adaptation in here. But then you also, like I said, you'll need streamline, because it's drain per second. And this is not me doing a build or anything. This Warframe is about a mid-level Warframe, so she's not that strong to begin with. This is just me not wanting to die multiple times during this quest. I don't feel like dying a lot during this quest. Stanex is pretty funny. Also, Stanex is a clown. Okay, well, we'll see what type of Warframe he is. Maybe he's a comedian. Let's see. Ooh, that is terrible. And then you put something like adaptation in here. So now I gotta make sure I have health on, have armor on, I have strength on. That's pretty good. I have a decent amount of duration. That's not too bad. I have low fleeting on this. And then you could throw in adaptation here. So the only thing that's the bad part is that my power strength will not be beyond a certain point. But I always said to myself, then do I really need to keep this on all the time if I have Arcane Energize on in 160? That's the reason why I focus mainly on this, so that I could always put on and I could always put on adaptation in here, as long as I control the amount of energy that the second ability takes. But that's 5 energy drain per second. That's not good at all. It's not good in the slightest. keep saying that to myself, but I know for a fact that that type of drain is very costly. In the long run, it would be very costly. Because if you forget, like, see, this is decent. Like, if you forget to take it off, it will drain a lot of your energy. And if the enemy hits you a lot, then the time it takes for this arcane energize to kick in might be a while. So you won't have any injury whatsoever. So my thing is, this is fine. Or the only solution I could possibly think of that will solve that problem is put Hunter Adrenal here and Adaptation here and keep everything. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because now I have always continuous energy coming towards me. And no, but I keep saying this. I need to pay attention to what I'm saying. I can't let it go by 5 energy. It has to be 175. Which means then I'll have to take this off, because adaptation has to be on there. And if I remove this, this goes all the way down to 50, which has duration. Let me see. Okay, so she doesn't have that much duration. The fourth ability is duration, but I don't really care about that. So okay, so this is fine. But let me double check. I'm saying it's fine. Might screw myself over. Combo window is charge and release fiery projectiles, ignites enemies in contact, damage area, radius, combo window. So I can increase the combo. I wonder if I increase the combo with duration. The only way to see is to, I don't want to jump the gun with regards to anything. Yes, you can increase the combo duration, combo window with duration. So I guess I should just keep it here at 100. Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense, to keep it at, but really? Is that even good? 1.57 is not good combo at all. It's just 7 seconds more. That's terrible. It's no difference. Just okay, so now I have to put in adaptation then. There's no choice. Or maybe if I wonder if I put in transient fortitude, what'll happen? It'll go down even more. Like minus 5 seconds, yeah. Yeah, it's not good either. So I have to, okay, Hunter Adrenaline to get more back, and adaptation goes here. That's the best choice. That's the best choice. That's the best choice. That is the best choice, because it makes the most sense, because you need that 175 efficiency. The first ability, which is complete garbage, take 0.75, or is 0.75 now because I formatted, but it doesn't make a difference. It's like 7 seconds towards that. So yeah, and then all that's needed is adaptation. Of course, I can't put adaptation here because that he's unranked. I mean, she's unranked. So I have to go with this for right now. I want to get into the quest, but I don't want to do things stupidly. I want to make sure I go in there pretty strong, even at unrank. So more armor, more energy. Let's go. And have all my weapons I need. I want to destroy all my enemies in one fell swoop. Or at least keep them at bay. It's been a while since I used the Sonic Core. It's been a while since I used the Sonic Core. Probably doesn't even do good damage, but So it was a very old weapon back in the days. I really should bring out the big boys. I shouldn't be wasting time with this Sonic Ore, but I'm just gonna have fun today. And this should have more than this type of speed. But it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Wait, what? Why isn't there something here? Oh, it doesn't have one? I don't have one for this weapon? Okay. So I'm not using this then. Okay. That's 125 is garbage. 142 is also not that great. I think I'll go with any more speed. More speed. Lots more speed. Fury. Like Prime Fury or Fury? Which one should I pick? But do I have Prime Fury on? Okay, so I already have that. So even with Prime Fury on, this thing is slow as hell. Maybe something else. Stun box. Well, that's what it is. I didn't put on and duration and wait a minute. It was like what? Okay. Okay, so I'll see. You know what? I'll just go. I'm just wasting time here checking out certain things, so I'll just go. And if I die a lot, I die a lot.
Whoa, the inside of a Murex. Organic scaffolds, node-based circulation. But on a scale I never thought possible. The Medusa network means I'm scanner blind in here. Knock it out, and I'll pinpoint the location of our messenger. When Valis and Narmer struck the system, I was ready to do something. anything. But no. The family said we had to guard the heart of Deimos. I spent the entire war laying low in the Necrolisk, listening to Noranite talk about those brave few fighters who were out there doing exciting things. Not this time. I think that's the central hub of the Medusa network. Without a scanner feed, you'll need to figure out how to disable it on your own. triangulating distress beacon. There. The signal originates from the other side of the Murex. I hope they're not too frightened to talk. Don't be afraid. We're here to...
Call not afraid. Call need brothers. Queen said, blue girl?
That rat? I can't believe I expected to find out who Pazul is. I'm an idiot.
Call no Pazul.
Excuse me?
Call need gun. Find call gun. Call tell about Pazul.
Of course. Call, was it? There. Marking a weapon signature.
Scrape you off, boot. Ooh.
You got your gun, and I will guide you out of here, but first, I need you to tell me about Pazul.
More woo. Call find brothers. You help. Then talk.
Brothers? Brothers was not what we agreed to. You said gun. I got you your gun. Now tell me about Pazul.
Find brother. Brother, move!
field your brother is locked in is entangled with complex restraints. Get close. I'll use your signal to target a dissipation beam.
Call know what to do. Blue girl need call in that spot. Brother, wake up. Call give orders now. Come.
Call. Where you lead, rock follow.
A blockage? Not even a brutish Grineer fist can punch through that. Think.
Blue girl, stop think. Call see rock has bomb.
I saw him fly just now. I want to know how I fly. Oh, he has the booster pack on. Oh, that's why. Okay, never mind. I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. It's telling me to do this. And he did the command once, but he's not doing it again. Am I supposed to be pointing towards something? It's just showing me. Is it up here? Is it eyes? Let me look at my commands. Challenges, abort. So there is no commands. Alright. So I gotta figure it out, I guess. It's highlighting this. Hey dude, you're supposed to be doing something. Go do your job.
Move!
Really? It didn't even say that. It said nothing about pressing X. It said nothing about pressing X. All it says is press the side. It didn't say anything about pressing X.
Bat rats are good at destroying things. Shocking.
Blue girl.
See?
Where
You
are
turn it
you?
on at the side like this, and then you press X to order. But it didn't say anything about pressing X.
My friend's lander.
Why didn't they just do it like the regular waypoint?
Ship.
I mean, if it just put it like the regular waypoint, all you had to do is waypoint, and then he would do it.
But it might not even be operational.
Call make work. First, find all brothers.
I don't know how, but you need to find a way across.
Call 180. Same tube. Hellion pack. How hard could be? Call, not stop. No, get back up. Move out, brother. Everything going dark. Get in position.
Hold tight, Carl. Just a little bit longer.
Must send brother to other spot. Keep going.
For the Queens.
No. Queens, abandon us. Fight for brothers now.
This one's just a corpus.
Call know what Veil like. Nobody deserve Veil. Blue girl need Call in that spot. Need to split up. Call go there. Brother go there. Call in charge. Go. Getting hit. You move now. Call, feel that.
That's everyone. Can we go now? Dropship marked.
Get over there. Go to place.
You're coming up on the bull core, and of course, it's held in place by a tether node. I've devised an 8-step plan to evade security and gain access. Step 1.
No time, Blue Girl. Call, do. Can brother bomb node thing?
You're coming up on the Bull Core, and of course, it's held in place by a tether node. I devised an 8-step plan to evade security and gain access. Step 1.
No time, Blue Girl. Call, dude. Call, dude. Call, not take this. Or I need to bomb node thing. For no queens. We fight for brothers!
I can pilot this thing remotely, but I need you to man the guns. That tether node still has a grip on you. Take it out.
Now, find the other brothers.
Make any more stops and you risk everyone you already saved. And you still haven't told me about Azul.
Blue girl have brother? Would she leave him to die?
You're loyal. I'll give you that. Plotting a course to the second Narmer holding facility. Hold on tight. Hull integrity dropping! Losing control! Call!
Brothers, get out! It over. Call tell you about Pazul.
Not now, Call. I'll see if there's another way to get you and your brothers out of here.
For the brothers! Armor's not whole. Need to get in position. Call need to be in two places. Flesh wound.
I've called in a favor. Get to the hangar and you just might live.
Feel that. Grenier surprise!
Railjack, just up ahead.
Tenno. Brothers trust Call. And Call trust you. Brothers, get in. They hit Call hard. Blue Girl, bring brothers aboard. Call check everything safe.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Call, this is Blue Girl. Did my friend get you all set up?
Tenno is friend. Call tell Blue Girl about Pazul. Body is dead worm. Head like animal.
Dead worm. Is that all?
What more to know? Want kill Pazul? Find brothers. Break veils. Kill Narmer. That what Call do.
Fine, I'm in. We'll get more done working together. Face it, that rat. You need me.
If Narmer make veils, Call and Blue Girl. Break them. Who helped Grenier today? Not Queens, not Vahek. Only Tenno and Blue Girl help brothers. Other brothers still have Veil. Call break veils. Call help them. Like you help Call. Call not afraid. Who helped Grenier today? Not Queens, not Vahek. Tenno and Blue Girl help brothers. Other brothers still have Veil. So Call break. This camp little, but soon it get big. You see. Call not afraid. And now, Call not alone. Nothing come here. No worm. No Grenier. Call be here. Call need to choose. Ugh. like it. Ah, call look good. Not too shabby. Tenno. What call where today? welcome. Ah, in Grineer Army, Call only get one uniform. This is better. Against Archon.
Okay, so that was the Veilbreaker quest. It was a pretty short quest, about 30 minutes, just like they said. But one of the main things about the Veilbreaker quest, it just doesn't end with the quest as well. You have to find the Warframe parts for the Warframe Stanix. So in order to do that, you gotta basically find out all you need to do based on your codex. So the codex should tell you exactly what you have to do in order to get Stynex with regards to the quest. So Veilbreakers, that's done, but I guess you could look into, it's not Leech, it's not weapons, it's not, well, I guess Tenno is a faction in and of itself. Grineer Corpus. Yeah, but Tenno wouldn't be there anyway. Warframe and vehicles. Stynex. Okay, he's just telling me all the Warframes I have, rather than the Warframes I need to get. So, not interested in... No, it's right here. He's right here. It says I own one. Okay, so I have his blueprint, basically. It's probably in my, I own the blueprint. Probably have to get the parts themselves. I don't see him here. I wonder if it actually means it gave it to me, the entire Warframe. That's impossible, unless it's a one-time thing. They typically don't give you an entire Warframe just like that. But maybe this is the exception, because this is like the 50th Warframe anniversary. Maybe they'll actually give you the Warframe. So, let me see. Form account 0. They actually gave it to you. Lord have mercy. Okay, so that's another good reason to get into Warframe right now. You don't ever have to worry about farming this new Warframe. By just completing the quest, they'll give you the Warframe. And plus, because this is the 50th anniversary, they're giving this Warframe away, basically. They're not. You don't have to actually farm for this. This is the first time ever in Warframe that they actually give you a Warframe for free after you finish the quest. That's crazy. I wonder if everyone had the same experience. First time. First time in Warframe history. First time in Warframe history. Where they gave you a frame for completing a quest, an entire frame. They gave you an entire frame, not just a frame, an entire frame, not frame parts or a blueprint, an entire frame. That's weird. Must be that 50th. Must be the 50th anniversary thing. I wish I could just say these words and they just pop up. Then again, wasn't Ureli the 51st Warframe? Wait a minute, something is weird here. Wait a minute. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? Alphabetize. No. Alphabetize. Names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Yeah, it was 50. I thought it was 51 because I have 2 Octavias and I have 2 Nezas. But Octavia Prime is the same as Octavia, so, and Neza Prime is the same as Neza, so It has to be. Yep. Must be the 50th Warframe celebration thing. Awesome. Archon mods. Hold on, hold on. Alright, well, before I get into this Warframe, I'm gonna go into those two new builds now. Um, Next thing you know, I start going into Archon mods and all this other stuff. So I'll get into those two builds real quick, and then I'll jump back into Stynex to see what he's all about. So the two builds, after finishing that quest, I said I was going to do, I was going to start from the bottom going up. I wasn't going to do Zephyr. Already did Wukong. Already did Wisp. And Zaku's considered mid-range. I would say a medium to high damage. See, Zephyr is considered also medium to high damage. But because his power is forward, it's not 360. I consider him just to be, or her to be just to be medium. Yes, Zephyr can fight up to level 100 enemies, but past that, level 135, she'll start to have a lot of trouble because her damage radius is, the max you can have her damage radius is like 180. It's not like a 360 thing. Zaku, on the other hand, could survive probably much longer than her, but I haven't trained enough to use that Zaku, so I can't judge with Zaku. So Zaku's out of the way. Otherwise, I would make a build for Zaku as well. And because I knew Zephyr is not that good against level 135 and higher, because he's limited by range, I would say most enemies that she could defeat is level 100 to like 125 or something. But I guess that's something. But I've never tested Zephyr and Zaku that much. Those are the, like Zephyr, Zaku, and Ureli are the Warframes I hardly touch. Because one, I know Zaku is pretty good, but his kit isn't that great. Like, if you think about it, only two of his abilities, just like many Warframes that are average, two of his abilities are good. So the second ability is the good one. Yeah, so the second and the third abilities are the best one. Second and third. The first one is not that good, to be honest with you. It's not that good at all. Fourth one, I would say temporarily sheds the outer no. The fourth one is not that good either. I mean, it really depends on, like, it allows you to do more dodging. It allows, I guess, the enemy to slow down. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm still questioning Zaku's powers, so I could be wrong. This could be a mid-range to high-range Warframe, but I'm still questioning his ability. So these two Warframe are out of the running for mid to high level, but I believe Zaku might actually be high level. I'm just not going to test him because I haven't run with him enough to actually judge him. So I'm not going to put him in here because I haven't judged him, run with him long enough to judge him. And of course, Vauban. I wanted to put Vauban as mid to high level, but I know he will die a lot against level 135 enemies. Yeah, so I would put him as straight mid level. And I was moving up. I would say, well, Sevagoth is probably high level because he have extremely high crits. But yeah, his little spirit thing is kind of slow, and his kit is kind of off. So I will consider him mid-level as well, even though he has probably the highest crit in the game, next to stuff like Wukong. And so I believe he has the strongest crit in the game if you know how to form him correctly. There might be arguably other Warframes as well. But yeah, then I was going to work up to Sarn, and then Revenant is pretty thick. He's a thick boy. He could go up to high level enemies, but I believe once he gets past level 125, level 100 to 125, once he gets to like 135, he'll get killed a lot. That's why I consider him to be mid-level. He's very tanky. He has a lot of armor, but now past a certain time, I believe he's going to die a lot. The same can be said for Sarn. Revenant is more likely to survive longer than Sarn, but the difference between Revenant and Sarn is that her powers of her abilities allow her to stay alive longer, because her regeneration molt allow her to gain back health, and her other molts allow her to kill enemies within a vast range without getting near them. So her survivability is much higher than him when it comes to killing enemies and regenerating health back. Like Revenant can't regenerate health back, or stun enemies to the level at which Sarn can. Sarn can. But it could be argued. But all I know is that she's one of the most highest DPS Warframes in the game. She can't survive probably past the same amount of enemies that Revenant can't survive. Like I say, like level 135. That's as far as Sarn can go. Maybe level 150 for both of them. But the reason I put her higher than Revenant, because she doesn't even need to be near any enemies to kill them. She could be behind a door and casting her abilities, and her molt is a 360-degree thing. So she has like the second highest range, I think, besides that of Limbo. So I believe actually she might have longer range than Limbo, but I believe Limbo has the furthest range. I could be wrong, but she has incredible range. She doesn't even need to, like, if her base kit was at 100. Like I'm gonna start with Sarn. Actually, you know what? Sarn should be my last video. So I shouldn't. Sarn should be my last video. Sarn, Nyx. Like I said, Sarn, Nyx, and Mesa. Sarn, Nyx, and Mesa are going to be my last video. So today is my second to my last video. So today is going to be Ghost. Actually, no. It's Sarn, Korra, and Mesa are the beefiest. So yeah, Sarn, Korra, and Mesa. So today is going to be, instead of that, I'm going to use Nyx. Sarn, Korra, and Mesa. Nyx, Gauss, and Nyx, Gauss. Well, Limbo could fight like really strong high level, but after a while he dies. So Nyx, Gauss, and Hildren. That's what it's gonna be. Nyx, Gauss, and Hildren. And then my final videos, because after a while, people like Inaros will die easy to level 100. So Gauss, Hildren. Well, then again, if they're super powerful enemies above level 125, they'll take off her shields regardless of how high her shields is. So without it to regenerate fast enough, she'll die quickly. So I would say Gauss. I would say Gauss, Korra, and you know what? I'll test it. I'll go Gauss, I'll go Korra, and I'll go Hildren. That's all I'll do, and I'll end it off with Saran Mesa and Saran Mesa and Nyx. Saran Mesa and Nyx will be my last one. So today's going to be Gauss, Hildren, and Korra, and tomorrow will be my very last one, which will be Saran Mesa and Nyx. So I'll start with Gauss. So today and tomorrow are going to be my last video. So, okay, so starting with this Warframe, going from base like I typically do. Armor weak, energy standard, health standard, shields very good. So this is the shield Warframe. And let's see, sprint speed 0.40 has the highest sprint speed. Now remember when I said that a 1.05 was fast, and anything that goes, apparently it's the opposite, it's the reverse. So if you're below 1 you're slow, but if you keep going higher, you're fast. So if this sprint speed says like 2 or something, then that means the Warframe is faster. Duration is okay, so everything is pretty much standard. The only two things that are very different is the sprint speed and the shields. But you don't really care about sprint speed. Sprint speed. You care about the shields and the health and the energy. That's what you care about, because it doesn't matter if you give this Warframe a lot of armor. It won't change anything, to be honest with you, because they're just in the 100s. You could boost up the armor in order to resist damage over time, but it won't do much of anything in the long run, unless the Warframe already has a base armor that's pretty decent. Like, say for instance, his base armor was equal to that of his base shields, then that would be something to consider and put on more armor. But you'll be wasting slots if you decide to put on more armor. You could probably drop like 1 armor on this Warframe just to boost it up a little, like steel fibers, or not even steel fibers, Umbra. So you put an Umbra here and Vitality here. So you have both. You have both armor and health knocked up already. Then, since, let's check out this Warframe. So 15 energy, 50 energy, 50 energy, and 100 energy. So this is about an average Warframe. I would say this is an average Warframe, because typically all average Warframes have 100, then 75, then 50, and then 25. So I would say this is slightly below, slightly above average Warframe, because typical Warframe takes 25, 50, 75, and 100. So this is slightly above average Warframe when it comes to energy consumption. So it's good. This is a Warframe that does good energy consumption, but not great. Alright, so let's see. Drain per second is... Okay, so the first ability is drain per second. Okay, so unless you're using the first ability all the time, I wouldn't worry too much about first ability unless it's necessary for you to use the first ability. Every other ability, all you have to do is lower his drain down to 25%, 25, 25, and then lower the drain here from the last ability down to like 50%. It's rarely that you're going to be able to using the first ability. You only use that when you're like in open areas. So you would rarely use this first ability unless you really have to get out of a sticky situation. That's what this first ability is about, getting out of a sticky situation. So I wouldn't worry too much about the first ability. He has 3 abilities that are good, second, third, and the fourth. Those are his best abilities. Because the fourth ability allow attack speed, reload speed, holster speed, and it has decent duration as a base. Its base duration is already 30 seconds, so that's already good in and of itself. Firing rate goes from 15 to 75. So at the moment he's at 15, but you could increase his firing rate up to 75%. So whatever firing rate you're, let me turn down the volume. So whatever firing rate you already have on your guns, it could increase that by 75% if you're able to reach 75. But if your firing rate cannot be increased by 75%, you should at least try to increase your firing rate for Gauss up to about 50% if you can't get it to 75. That way you have at least additional 50% of firing rate on your guns. That's why it's important to lower his fourth ability energy down to like 50%. So you don't have to waste a lot of energy, because 50% of or 50 energy, not 50%, 50 energy is still a lot if you think about it. And to use it all the time is going to be costly. I would suggest even trying to lower it down below even below 50% if you could possibly get it. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try to lower that efficiency all the way down to 40%, if we get it to 40 or 35%. Okay, so it's by 25% now, which is very good. This is where you want it to be, at 25%. But if you find yourself in a sticky situation and you're not too concerned about it, you just check out how much this will cost. That's at 50%. That's not that good. So you want to put it back. This is perfect. At 25% energy spent, that's perfect. Now all you need now is the obvious prime flow, so you can always have additional energy, and you're golden. So all you need now is marking energized, and since his armor is weak, you need to put more armor on him. And if you have one set of armor in your arcane slot and another set of armor on your Warframe as well, that's 2 armor buffs. I guess you could say with, yeah, 400 is still not good. Most Warframes based, like most of the tank Warframes, their base is 400. So at 400, it's not good either. But at least with Ultimatum, you boost that up to like maybe about a decent amount. Like Ultimatum is gives you about 1,000 armor for 45 seconds. Even more than that once you max it out. So yeah, you have Ultimatum on. Ultimatum. I would use Rolling Guard because this Warframe is always moving fast. So And now you only have 2 additional slots. And these 2 slots will be dedicated towards strength. Showing here right now is attack speed, reload speed, holster speed. Now if you increase the strength, I guarantee those are going to go up. Right now they're about, where are they? They go from 4 to 20%. So let's see what will happen when I give it some strength. Just a slight amount of strength. If the strength remains the same, then that means it doesn't matter. Okay, so it goes up a little. It was at 8 and 40. Was it at 8 and 40? Wait, let me think about it. I remove that again. Let's try that again. Okay, so firing rate goes from 15 to 75. But it could go up to 15 to 75. And right now I'm at 15 seconds, but I could take it up to a duration of 30 seconds. So let's see. That's because fleeting is there. That's why the duration period went down. So now add in more duration. Okay, so it's back up to 31. And duration affects, so duration is, you would think it's strength, but it's not strength. Duration is what affects this Warframe with regards to faster reload. Weird, but yeah, that's how it is. More duration equals more firing rate, apparently. It's been a minute since I used this Warframe as well, so let's try to increase that. But you need fleeting. That's why I have fleeting on, so that you can lower the efficiency cost. Actually, let me see something. What if I just put on streamline? Yeah, it's still no good. Streamline is okay, but I need more. Okay, so 40 energy, 36 seconds. Firing rate is 1892, which is above the 75% ratio. So it can climb up to 92, based on my setup now. Now my base strength is still the same, but because I have more duration and more efficiency, I'm gonna see if I can increase both of those as well, because I have enough health and I have enough armor, but I do know I need adaptation on. Let's see. Maybe I just have to throw on one more. Firing rate goes from 22% to 110. That's pretty good. But it starts off at a base of 22%. So you have 22% added firing rate to your weapon, which is not that great to begin with. So maybe if we add but you don't want to put narrow-minded on this Warframe. Well, I guess you can, because it doesn't really matter. I mean, you're not going to be using his first ability a lot anyway, for an all-rounder. So let's do this. Let's see what we have. 29. Nah, still don't like it. So let's remove that and put. Let's try more efficiency this time. This and this. 31, 25. But if I remove Streamline and I add, more duration, let's see what'll happen. Remove Streamline and just add more duration in its place. Let's see what'll happen. No, no good. I mean, it takes more energy, but for some reason the firing rate went up by 2% more, which is not that big a deal. I prefer to have 25% energy rather than duration anyway. I mean 25 energy. Let's check that again. Yeah, see, that's 31. It was at 33, which is fine. It's in the 30s. And the drain is 25, which means the drain here is going to be 12. The drain here is going to be 12, which is beautiful. Takes 20 to 100% damage reduction, so it goes from 20 to 100, which is not that great. I wonder if this one is based on ability strength. If this one is based on ability strength, then let's see. Okay, let's look at it first. Kinetic plating. Damage reduction, 20 to 100. Let's see if anything would change with regards to that if I give it ability strength. Yes, it goes up a little, but only by a small amount. Not enough to change the entire kit. Let me throw in transient fortitude and see what happens. Not that great. I mean, 26 and going from 31 to 100 and then going from 26 to 100. It's not that great. There's no point to even put on strength. But let me just retake that back. Let me take that back. Let's look at the other abilities as well. I'm not going to look at the first one. Let's look at the third one. Let's see if power strength does anything with this third one. Does radius, does duration, status duration, cold damage, and heat. Let's see if the static duration will increase. It should, but maybe it won't. So 816 to 1632. 816 to 1632. Yeah, the duration doesn't change in strength. Let's try that again though. At least the cold damage and the heat damage increase slightly, but not enough to cause damage to the heavies, the big boys. So I wouldn't even waste my time with it. Let's check out transient, what transient does. So it goes from, yeah, it still doesn't do anything to like heavies. It won't do jack squat to the heavies. Status duration. It won't do jack squat to the heavies, to be honest with you. So I think I'm good. About the only thing I need is range. But only 2 of them require range. And the one I'm really interested in more than anything is the second ability and the third ability and the last ability. Mostly the last. So this is fine. If I can increase his range for running, should be fine. But the thing is, I only use the first ability when I need to use the first. The one that's most important is basically the second and the fourth, and then some of the third. Yeah, I don't think I need power strength. I just need a little bit more duration. Just a little bit more duration. And efficiency. Okay. Alright. Now the only sucky thing about this whole thing is the range that he could run. So just to give him a little bit balance, I really don't need it. I really don't need to increase his range beyond 34, because unless I'm in the open plain area like the Plains of Avalon, I have to run over a lot of mountains. I won't be using his first ability to do long distance running. So I'm just going to increase it slightly, which will kind of knock off his him taking like 25%. See, no matter how you see it, you need that 175. Well, it's here. Okay, I'm being blind. It's right here. Okay, so adaptation, rolling guard. I'm gonna put rolling guard on. Okay, so this is good. Let's check out the duration period. Radius is 9. Duration is good. Of course, the fourth is always good. Second is good. So the only one that's really kind of an issue is the first one. But the first one, you only use the first one in emergency. So his entire kit is kind of good. His first one is kind of questionable. But if you know how to use his first ability, it comes in clutch, especially when you're trying to escape death. So it's very important. to know how to use his first ability. And it'll save your life when you're in a deep situation or when you have to like reach to the end of your extraction and you're the last man standing. That's when his speed will come in handy. Or I guess when you're trying to knock back a lot of enemies because they're becoming too much of a crowd. Yeah, that's when the first one comes in handy. But the best abilities are the second, third, and the fourth. That's why this is an all-around good Warframe. So that's that. And of course, what goes here is prime sure-footed. Now, since this Warframe takes a lot of energy, or it really doesn't take a lot of energy. It really doesn't. I guess you could put anything in this R slot. Well, you can't really put anything in this R slot. He's a Naramon. He's a Naramon type, so he's mostly melee based, which means he slams into his enemies, or he use powerful weapons to smash and destroy his enemies. So if you don't want to use energy siphon, you have to use a Naramon type mod that's capable of fighting against swarms of enemy. I guess you could take from his shield to cause status effects, status chance, status duration, status damage on heavy attacks. And since he does melee, then this works fine. As well as smashing into enemies. He'll lose shields, like I said, he'll lose 90% of his shields. But he'll be able to recover it in time. Typically, I don't like to use this anyway, unless I have to. I guess if you're fighting Corpus, you put Shield Disruptor on. Yeah, but the mod I believe that will work best is the Brief Respite. But this is fine. And if you don't want to use it, you could use Energy Siphon just for that little bit of energy if you don't want to use it. And then secondary slot for augmentation, or I mean for Exumus, will be Coaction Drift. Will be a Coaction Drift mod. Obviously, when he becomes like level 30, you'll put Prime Sure-Footed here. And I guess you could put... Yeah, you put Prime Sure-Footed here and you have this here. This will be your setup. Now, if you don't like that, you can always put Energy Siphon back in and Coaction Drift, so you could always get even more energy. So yeah, this is set up for him. Now I'm tested in mission. So that was an all-rounder build. Like if every single Warframe I've been making are all-rounder Warframes, all-rounder builds, not tank builds, not crowd control builds, but all-rounder builds. Maybe I've done a duration build once or a tank once amongst the showcase, but those were exceptions. Everything else, everything has been all-rounder builds. In fact, you could consider this an all-rounder build as well. Obviously, the range is not really all-rounder, because all-rounders consist of just having the standard 100, and then you could decide whether you want it high or low. But this falls below 100, so you can't really say this is all-rounder, but at the same time, yes, it is, because it's above the 50% margin that's required to damage enemies that are in front of you. So I would say this is a good all-rounder. I prefer to have Prime Sure-Footed than different armor mod here, maybe brief respite. But yeah, this is decent for an all-rounder. This is what you have for an all-rounder. The armor's not that good, but at the same time, you always have Arcane Ultimatum to give you that extra arm boostage. So this is a good all-rounder Warframe. So after this, I'm going to test. I'm not going to do core. I'm going to test Hildren. Honestly, to be honest with you, I really shouldn't test Hildren whatsoever. I believe she's tanky to a certain level, and just like Rhino, she can go high, but eventually she'll run out of her shield. So I put Rhino in the high state. I'll put her in the same high state as well, because she has more shields than Rhino, and she can survive much longer missions than Rhino can, if you think about it. So yeah, I'll do Hildren after this. But I guess certain people say, well, if you're going to do Hildren, then you have to do someone like Nidus. But Nidus has to build his stacks in order for his setup, his kit to work. If he doesn't build his stacks, then he won't be able to be invincible at the start. Like when you go into level 100 enemies, at the start they're already level 100. So it'll be difficult for him to build stacks when he's trying to desperately kill level 100 enemies to build those stacks. So I guess we could do any mission. Go to Necrolis first, and then do some vaults. But I really should test them in the open area, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to an open area. Let's say Orb Valis. I'll go to Venus. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to fight.
Ordis has received messages for the operator. No, I have not read them.
Let the Archon hunt begin. Okay.
Unread inbox messages make me ill.
Helmite Archon Shard segment blueprint. Really? Oh, really? Archon segment. So our ship now has an Archon segment. Helmite Arbor Hunt segment. Okay. Well, I'll have to do that at a different time. Not today. So, what was I saying? Let me just take this off. And let's see. Okay, yeah, Venus. And I'm going to fight a boss. I'm going to fight Exploiter boss. So I'm going to do Exploiter boss. Hosting Exploiter. XPL boss. So that's why every Warframe is kind of different and bizarre, no matter how you see it, because typically you would think increasing your power strength will increase your fire rate and your duration and all of that stuff. But for this Warframe, Gauss, his kit works completely different. That's why when I decide to showcase Warframes, decide to showcase all the Warframes that work completely different from other Warframes. So the ones that are completely different are the ones that are also the ones that are different from each other. So their kit works different and they themselves work different. And they're also from mid-level to high level. The Warframes that are kind of standard are the ones that have like two of their abilities that work and the other two are don't work whatsoever at all. Typically good Warframes are Warframe where three abilities work. Like Nova, her first ability is garbage, but her other abilities are good. Like Null Star is bad, but Antimatter Drop is good for quick kills. But then people say, well, Antimatter Drop is kind of garbage because it takes so long. So I guess you would put Nova in mid-level Warframe since her third and her fourth is her own selling point. But because her fourth ability is extremely good, that's why we put her going from mid to high level, because just her one ability is good enough to get her into the high level slot. That's the only reason why Nova is considered to me a mid to high level Warframe. Otherwise, she would stay standard like mid level, just like Hydroid, or mid level, just like um, I would say mid level like Atlas. Yeah, like Atlas is pretty tanky, and in some ways better than Hydroid and a lot of other Warframes I put at mid level. But yeah, to me, if you can take Nova, um, put a lot of armor on Nova, and put a lot of efficiency on Nova, and incredible, like a ridiculous amount of range on Nova, or not even a ridiculous amount of range. Like if you could put 190 range on Nova, then she becomes this extremely good Warframe, and very helpful to her clan because she could slow down her enemies at 75% and with extremely good duration on them. It'll take a while for that duration to wear off. That's why her one ability, which is her fourth, is as good as having two. So her one ability, her fourth, is like having two abilities in one. That's why I said she's a mid-level to high-level Warframe. Otherwise, without her fourth, she would have been, low level. Her one ability is good enough to put her into high-level category. So let me just do this mission with Venus. Fortuna first, and then we'll do mission. Exploiter. So I only have an hour left. Yeah, getting off in 1 hour. So I'm gonna try to get these two Warframes done real quick. Explorer might take about a good 25 minutes. But Hildren isn't that complicated to figure out. Because if I'm going to put Rhino in high level to fight level 100 enemies and higher, like level 135 or 150, then Hildren can definitely fight those enemies as well. That's why I'm going to put Hildren in the mid to high level as well. Let's go.
Quick geology lesson. Thermal fractures are what you get when you pump too much coolant into the ground too fast. Displaced thermia has... Oh, you see Zood, send him my way. Girl done. Sparky, right. We're all here. Let's get started. Green. And remember, you never heard of me, you never heard of Solaris U. Head to deck 12 and load the thermia into the condenser. Then we start planning an attack on Exploiter. Home again. Deck 12. Most of the old SU never made it out. Legs' folks, and Zood's sisters. It broke her, you know? We've all tried getting through to her, but she insists they never existed. Zood?
I hear them. My sisters. Everything.
So I might have to go back and try this again. I'll go back through the
again.
door.
Deck.
Apparently that person's internet was
Most
bad,
of the old SU never made it out.
so I might have to
Legs'
go all the
folks,
way back
and Zood's
and then do
sisters.
this again.
It broke her, you know?
Oh, I can't come out.
We've all tried getting through
Okay,
to
so
her,
now I have to
but she insists they never existed.
abort the mission.
Zood?
I hear them.
Every now and again this will happen. Someone has a different type of internet service, or the game just bugs out.
Quick geology lesson. Copy that. Keep a shiny side up, Sparky. Sparky, right. We're all here. Let's get started. Show 'em how it's done, Sparky. We ain't got all cycle. Head to Deck 12 and load the Thermia into the condenser. Then we start planning an attack on Exploiter. Neff's using the Exploiter orb to mine those fractures. One breach, and Fortuna's concourse floods with Thermia. We tried taking Exploiter down, back in the day. We have to try again. But this time, we have to succeed. We don't, it'll be Deck 12 all over again. And I can't have that. Zood and her sisters built a thermic condenser. Load it with Thermia and we can start prepping for a fight. home again. Deck 12. Most of the old SU never made it out. Legs is folks.
Why can't I remember their names? What was that? Solaris! United! You shall not despair the rod! As those who came before you were not. Her ventilation. Her vents. Bust them. Children, the winter chill invigorates our character and fortifies our bodies. Solaris United, you must be taught what to think, not how to think. Look at me when I'm speaking to you! Meister Vince thinks she's indestructible. Not today. Purging the condenser. How's your throwing arm, Tenno? Mother requests the pleasure of your company. You will not have me so easily. My thongs are fully grown. My children! They did nothing to you!
My sisters, tell me their names!
Come, children. It is a fine day to visit the city. Burn them all!
Fortuna. She's going to attack Fortuna. Her mind has snapped. Get out there and stop her.
Some fresh, cooling air, I think, shall do me good. Attentive children are a joy to all. Attend me, little ones.
Call them. Know what it means to feel them die.
Don't let those arachnoids cool her off. Keep the heat on. Watch it. She's fracturing the terrain.
Tell me and we'll make it quick. What were their names?
Attentive children are a joy to all. Attend me, little ones.
Call them, and know what it means to feel them die.
Don't let those arachnoids cool her off. Keep the heat on.
We shall, those who...
Her cognition engine is exposed. Shred it.
We are not at home to visitors! Medicine, children! Mother needs her medicine!
Stop those spiders.
Medicine, children! Mother needs her medicine!
Stop those spiders.
If you will not be a model, you shall be an example!
Gonna need more thermia.
Medicine, children! Mother needs her medicine!
Stop those spiders.
If you will not be a model, you shall be an example!
Gonna need more thermia.
Medicine, children! Mother needs her medicine! If you will not be a model, you shall be an example!
Gonna need more thermia.
Mother needs to rest. Nothing shall replace a child's love for their mother.
Bucknoids, bringing in refined coolant. Don't let them reach the orb.
And here's the problem, lies the problem with this type of mission. If you don't kill this enemy within a certain time period, it would take, like, if you don't kill this enemy within a certain time period, the enemy starts to bug out and will stop, put down like thermia fractures in the earth. Like, it will stop shooting fractures in the earth. And the lag will start to bleed out. And you see how long it took for that for her to throw out the thermia? It starts to become that type of problem. Like, if you take too long to defeat this enemy, she starts to become a problem, and take forever to load in enemies, and take forever to do fractures. Like, even if you have a group of 4 people, the same thing will happen. If you take too long killing this enemy, she will eventually take forever to load in enemies or thermias, or sometimes she will load enemies at far distance. Like, this thermia is all the way over here. It's nowhere near her. And you don't see any more arachnoids, so that's a problem. So one of the reasons why I don't like running Exploiter, because if you don't kill her fast enough, she becomes a problem. Not because she's strong or anything, simply because she's buggy as hell. Like, it will take her forever to load in the enemies that I need. After a while, I might just give up and stop playing this enemy. Like, it truly is disappointing how they haven't fixed this enemy yet in this game. But I guess in their mind, if it's not bugging out and freezing, then it's fine. But it's not fine. The lag time on Exploiter has always been low, as well as the spawn ratio for enemies to join into the enemy. A mission that would probably take you like 10 minutes will turn out to be like a full 20-30 minutes, simply because the loading time of spawning enemies and continuing on at creating thermia fractures in the earth takes long. I mean, it's hard to, it's like difficult to say certain things when you're playing the game at the same time, to describe anything in this game, like from builds to actually how to set up certain mods, to strength and what warframes to choose, and so on and so forth, and what missions to select. And your words get slurred sometimes, and you feel like you don't know what you're talking about, so on and so forth. But that's not the case. Like, very few people who play games actually play the game and tell you and educating you on how to do certain things while they're playing it. They typically will edit this stuff in their videos afterwards. That's why I know that half those people don't even know what the hell they're talking about when they're playing their games and say, well, this is how you do builds, because they go and do their research after they play the game. They don't research during they're playing the game, or they haven't played it enough to understand how the game works. So what they do is, since they haven't played the game enough to know how the game works, they either go to other people who play the game a lot, or they then start to do their homework after they play the game. And then they post videos up on how-tos and how to do certain things and how to achieve certain things in the game. Like, they actually know how to do these things themselves, rather than show it to you while they're playing it in the game, like I am. They would show you on videos that they made thereafter in a mission that they ran with their friends, and they cut it together and put it together. But they're not actually showing you how to do it while they're in the mission. They just figure out certain things, cut and paste certain things together, and then do the research on what works best together. And then they make their videos. They don't solve the issue while they're playing it and see what the issue might do. That's why I laugh at these clownies when they talk about their gamers and stuff. Like, they're not fooling anyone. They're not fooling anyone. It's not that I'm negative or anything about. See, I'm quitting this mission, man. This is ridiculous. Have you seen any of those spiders spawning yet? Not one. Not one spider has spawned in yet. The whole time I was talking. Not one. Let me see. Let me die here. I'll die. Maybe dying will spawn enemies. This is ridiculous. I'm recording this. I'm going to send this to Digital Extreme. I'm going to send me talking about this to Digital Extreme, running around waiting for spiders to show up in Explorer, soloing this. But it's not in solo mode. It's on public. Come on, this is ridiculous, man. Look, the enemy is hitting the ground. Okay. That's my last revive. So hopefully an enemy will pop in soon. If not, I might have to quit out. It's probably another reason why no one does Exploiter. Like I requested like people to do Exploiter. No one wants to do Exploiter because Exploiter is Garbage City. See, no enemies. Oh no, there comes one. It took me dying, using up a revive just for one of them to spawn, just one to spawn. Let me see if another will spawn.
Nothing shall replace a child's love for their mother.
Arachnoids, bringing in refined coolant. Don't let them reach the orb.
What rack noise? Maybe the arachnos are all the way over here. So I died once. I used up one revive just to spawn in one arachnoid. I'm gonna show this to I'm gonna show this video clip. It's gonna be a 5-minute video clip. But it's going to be more than 5 minutes. It's just going to be this segment, me saying more than 5 minutes, and then an additional probably like 5 minutes. So it's probably going to be a 10-minute section of me waiting for 10 minutes for Arachno to show up. And that no Arachnos has showed up yet within that 10-minute period. So I'm going to put 5 minutes before I completely decide to kill myself. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna head to extraction. This is kind of silly, and I'm wasting time here because I need to do my secondary Warframe for the showcase. So this mission should have been done 10 minutes ago. Actually, 20 minutes ago. So let me head to extraction. I mean, this company, their company is good, but they're so focused on creating new things and keeping up with new technologies that they fail to understand that whatever they had in place before, you have to fix those things before you try to bring out something new. They fixed some of the Eidolon stuff, but now they have to fix the exploiter stuff. Like, they constantly have to fix certain things because, you know, those things don't work. And this is not like it's something new or something. The exploiter has been an issue for quite some time. From the moment, I guess you could say from the moment Venus was introduced, and Fortuna and Venus was introduced, since then, since way back then, since like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, like, Explorer Orb has been an issue, and they still have not fixed that issue. They tried to touch it up, but it was never fully fixed. So it's been 2 years now. That's not good whatsoever. So I basically did that mission for no reason because I couldn't even finish it. So it'll be that full 10 minutes of me talking about it and me sending it to them. I mean, I don't really care if they don't like it. Like, it's your game. You don't have to like people bitching about it. But they'll bitch about it if it's something that's unplayable. That mission is unplayable. You cannot play it because you cannot finish it. Just because you could play the mission, if you don't finish the mission, then it's still not playable. It's not a playable mission because you can't complete it from beginning to end. Playing a mission doesn't mean you could just do it. You have to finish it. You have to play the mission. The mission is not played if you just get into the mission and you can't proceed towards the end. It's called playing a mission. A mission is a whole thing. It's not a section of a thing. It's the whole thing. And if it's a section of a thing, it would be stated as such. This is the part 1 of this section of a mission. Part 2 of this section of a mission. Part 3 of this section of a mission. There is no section of the Explorer Orb mission. It's just 2 section missions. The first section is the interior where you fight her. The second section is the outside where you fight her. So there are 2 sections of the mission. The first section of the mission works. The second section of the mission doesn't work. So you cannot play the entire Exploiter Orb battle. You can only play a section of the Exploiter Orb battle. So I guess in some ways they said, well, you can play it because you're able to play a section of it. But the entire Exploiter Orb battle is the entire Exploiter Orb battle. It's not like one section, it's the entire thing. You know, I don't know, man. My words always get slurred when it comes to things like this because I'm not gonna. You see, this is another thing what I don't do. Another thing that I don't do and a lot of streamers do, or a lot of people who are trying to make money on stream, they're going to go over their videos and redo their videos just so that their words in their mouths could sound correct. Like, that's great if you're trying to get your professional point across, but everyone knows that that's not really you. That's not really you whatsoever at all. That's the you just trying to sell something. That could never be you. Now, I mean, you could always tell the people who are hungry for love for doing something from those who are just doing it to get paid. That's why when I see a lot of them, like even the ones that make tutorials and stuff, I know they're not doing it because they love it. I know they're doing it simply because it's a way for them to make money, and it's all good. You can make dough if you want, but understand that you ain't a gamer. You'll never be a gamer. You're that person who's using games to make money. That's all you are. You never will be. You're like a Ready Player One. That's the name of the movie. When that guy who's owned that video game company hired a lot of video game enthusiasts, and he claimed to be a video gamer because he run a video game company. But he's never been truly interested in video game at all. He just liked the idea of making a lot of money off video games. Yeah, that's what these people are. They like video game to a certain degree, and then that's it. It's like a guy that owns a comic book store. He don't really give a shit about the story in the comic book or about what the characters are doing in the comic book. He only care about the story as a whole for the comic book so that he could sell it, so they could sell that story. So if you put issue 1 or issue 10 or something like that, this happens in issue 10. It's a great selling point. It's a great story. People are going to buy it. He see it from a buy and sell point of view. He don't see it from the characters in that story means something. He don't give a shit like that. That's why I know these people are clownies. There's so many clownies in the world, it just makes me want to puke. Like, it really makes me want to vomit how many clownies are in this world. How they claim to love things, and you know to your soul that they're clownies. Not a single one of them are 100%. Like, I've been playing Warframe for like a full 6 years now, and I'm still going strong. And at no point did I ever ask people like sub share during the first 4 years of my gaming or streaming, because I love to do it simply because I love to do it. Now, if I want to make money off of it, that's something totally different. But at no point did it ever occur to me that is something I want to use in order to get money. Like, if you don't love something, man, just get the hell out of here. Like, go somewhere and go make your money in things that you know, it's like the lazy man's way of doing things. They don't want to work hard for their money. They want to find the easiest way for them to gain money. So they use the easiest thing they could think of, video games and movies and stuff. Like, get the hell out of here, man. You could do whatever you want, and that's all good for you. But you're actually insulting people who actually love things by you joining in and say you're like one of us or something like that. It's like you're trying to be at the popular kids table, but you're a geek or you're a nerd. And there's nothing wrong with being a geek or a nerd, but you're a geek or a nerd trying to pretend that you're not a geek and a nerd. And that's a problem. You should know and own what you are. But when you start to throw your geek and nerddom in a garbage can and try to pretend like you're not what you are, it's like you're showing the popular kids, like, not only are you faking to be who you are, like, you're insulting what you are as well. So you're not only insulting your friends that are geeks and nerds, you're insulting your pretension of trying to be what you're not. So there's two things. Like, I see dudes with like big ass tattoos and stuff, you know, beards and everything, playing gamings and stuff. Hey, playing gamings and stuff, and big tattoos. They're playing gamings and stuff, and you think that, you know, they're the popular kids table type of people. Like, nah, man, they're not the popular kids table type people. They are actually the nerds and the geeks.
How do you feel about the update?
I feel great about the update, man. And I thank you for asking me, because I would have gone on a rant, keep going on about fake ass gamers. But thank you for asking, so I could stop talking about it. But the update is pretty good. I don't think I could replay it. It's possible. Oh, that's Waveriders. I don't think it's
amazing and no problem.
Yeah, it's amazing and it's no problem. It was about 30 minutes long, and I love the fact that Carl was the main character, and I love that he has that booster pack on his back. The booster is the essential part that sold me for this more than anything. Not his melee weapon, not his guns, not him giving commands, but his booster pack. It's different from the Warframe.
The booster pack was fun.
Yeah, the booster pack is fun because you can control it. You don't have to just go up with the booster. You could control it and hold the button down and go up and down. So the booster pack is fun. I wonder if I could play it again. I doubt I can. I could just do the cinematics here. I don't think I'm able to play it. Yeah, I don't think I'm able to play it again. It'll just show me the cinematic. But here's what I want. I want for us to be able to play as Grenier and as Corpus. Like how we have our own Warframe faction and we could select Warframes. I want for like the next update or the next year, 2023, for us to have a new loadout a new loadout for Corpus and a new loadout for Grineer. So we don't have to play Warframe all the time. We could select to play Grineers, or we could select to play Corpus, or even the Dax. That way we could enjoy playing whoever the hell we want to play. So let me see if I could do it again. I doubt it. I think you can only play the mission once.
Understandable, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be very cool. Like, you just go in your loadout and all of a sudden you could play as Teshin. Or at least whatever Dax are remaining, because Teshin is technically dead. Whatever Dax remains in the universe, you'd be able to play as a Dax. That would be sweet. And playing as like Viso from the New War, that would be even better than playing as Call, because Viso can control multiple robots at his command, where Call could, do semi-multiple commands, but his stuff is mostly with guns and boosters. But Viso would be purely be able to control different robots, gigantic robots, small robots, anything. I would love playing with Viso. But yeah, I don't think I'm able to play it again. But it was pretty cool. So now, that was Gauss. That was the Gauss Warframe. And this was his abilities. This was his kit. And this was his setup, mod setup. And I was right. I did not need the strength. I did not need the stretch. Because once you hold down on the ability for his A ability, he could sprint and you don't have to let it go. So it doesn't even matter how far you're going to go. Actually, it might cut off at a certain point. But yeah, I think 34 is pretty fine. 34 is good. 34 distance with his ability is good. And I believe if I'm going to remove that, this is 25. Firing rate goes from 30 to 153. Range 4, 8, 20. No, I was right. I was right. A little bit of range is good. I was right. If I'm not going to put range here, I say if you're not going to put range here, put a little bit more of armor. And if you're not going to put armor, then do the thing that I didn't do. I didn't do this. I didn't put fast deflect on. That's the reason why I kept going down, why I kept dying. Because I didn't have fast deflect on. So maybe you could put fast deflect here. And because you don't really need to have more than 34, I believe. The 79 distance sprint range was more than enough. And I believe half of that will be even better. Because I don't have to go for long distance. So maybe more than anything, I need to just put another... yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one more former here. And one more former here. And then I'll level both this Warframe up and the remaining Warframes I have. But for now, I'll put Gauss away. And I'll go into my last Warframe. Because I have to get off soon. Now that Warframe was Hildren. I said I was going to do Hildren. So now, let's see if I already have the setup for Hildren correct. Okay, so this is the setup for Hildren. This is the all-rounder Hildren. This is the all-rounder you want for Hildren. Hildren whole kit revolves around fast recovery of shields and max shields. So if you're able to have fast recovery shields and max shields, then this Warframe would survive a lot in mission. Now you would have to have on something like adaptation to resist elemental damage, which isn't obvious. That's why that's on. But the main thing is for this Warframe, it's not about armor, it's about tons of shields. So I have nothing but shields on this Warframe and a little bit of range. why I have a better range? Because when I cast my powers, I need a lot of enemy to be affected by my powers so that I could suck up their shields and put it back on myself. So that's the beautiful part about her crowd control ability. The longer the range she has, the more enemies she can affect it. And the more enemies she can affect, the more she could pull shields off of them to put back on her. So that's why she's kind of a weird Warframe as well. More range equals more enemy influenced by her powers. And more enemies influenced by her powers equal her getting back more shields here. So this is the setup I have for her. Technically, you want this to be at a 250. You don't want it to be 235. But 235 is okay for an all-rounder. For a tank, you might want more range. But this is what you will have for an all-rounder. You will have adaptation, you will have redirection, you will have prime vigor, you will have fast deflect for making your shields regenerate fast, and you will also have fortitude to make your shield regenerate fast. And then you have something like prime sure-footed, which is an obvious, and then more range, which is overextended and stretch. So I'll make this one real quick, this video real quick. This is the all-rounder build, and of course, brief respite converts 150% of energy spent on shields, while overshields are inactive. So whatever you spend on energy will go back into shields. So everything related to shields is related to Hildren. So this Warframe is totally bent on shields only. So even for your arcanes, this Warframe doesn't require energy, so you don't need arcane energy. But you will need arcane barrier, and you will need arcane aegis. And both of these arcanes are related to shield regeneration. So fast shield recharge and having more shields. So this is more shields, this is shield recharge. So everything related to shields is related to this Warframe. And of course you have to throw on your adaptation and your health, just for you, so you could survive. But this is pure shields Warframe right here. And that was an all-rounder for this Warframe. So I'll test this in combat and you'll see it for yourself. Of course, let me show the base. So the base of this Warframe, since I'll remove this. Okay, so this is the base of this Warframe. So this base Warframe has good armor. This base Warframe doesn't have any energy because this Warframe doesn't require energy. This Warframe has very low health, which means you have to give this Warframe more health. And this Warframe has less shields. So in my case, what I'm going to do in order to balance off the health, I'm gonna probably, since I'm doing an all-rounder, no, this works. This works as an all-rounder. Oh no. More health. No, I was right. I was right. If you're playing an all-rounder with this Hildren, you don't really have to worry about too much health. You'll be able to fight level 1 to level 100 enemies easy. And of course, all-rounders go from level 1 to level 100. That's an all-rounder. Once you go past level 100, that's when you're getting into big boy territory, fighting level 125, 135, 150, so on and so forth. So once she goes past, she could fight with this build, this all-rounder build. She could go past level 100 enemies pretty easy. So she's going to start struggling at level 135 enemies, but she'll still be able to manage level 135. It's level 150 to level 175 that become a problem. But this Warframe can go beyond level 100 with this build. So let me just put back on fortitude. So this is not a tank build, but is good for fighting level 1 to level 100 enemies. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it quiet from now on and then just show the abilities and how they work in combat. So I'm just gonna make sure, double check that I have the right one on. Yep, I have the right one on. So I'll keep it quiet and I'll probably test out. I'll test this on the sortie. Oh, they changed up the sortie as well. Archons. Archons are now part of sorties. Interesting. Oh, no, no. Never mind. Archons aren't part of sorties. Sorties are still their own separate things. Archons are now a separate type of missions. There are stronger level missions, level 130 to level 135, 145. So this is perfect. I'll be able to test out this Warframe on the Archon mission. I doubt she'll be able to survive past. Well, maybe she will. Maybe she'll survive. I believe she can survive up to level 135 easy, but 150 might be a problem. Okay, so this mission is kind of weird. It's a little different from before. I guess when you die once, you can't use up your revives. So it's kind of like arbitration. So it's not like a normal mission where you could just revive. So she was holding her own pretty well. It's just that I wasn't switching off, like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth enough. So against level 135, she could fight off level 135. Duration level 135 is a different story. I believe I might need 5,000 shields instead of 4,000. Or at least natural talent. That might be best. But I know fortitude is necessary. Yeah, it's hard to use her against Grenier, so I'll try it with natural talent this time. See what happens. Now the thing is, Grenier don't carry shields, so that's the problem. She steals shields from her enemies, and if they're not shield-based enemies, um, yeah. So here's the thing: I'm not gonna put Hildren. She's not she's not mid to high level. Based on this, I completely forgot. She has to take shields from an enemy, and if that enemy doesn't have a shields, then she's kind of pointless. So, Infested and Grenier are enemies that she won't work on. So that's why I don't consider her high level. I knew there was a reason why. Now I know the reason why. It's shield based, so that's not good. And yes, she could still defeat those enemies because she has high shields, but she can't steal shields from them because they don't have any shields. So I would have to, yeah, I would say, let me go back down. I'll pick a different Warframe. I would have to go Nyx. And the time is, let me see what time it is now. Or I might have to stop this. Yeah, I might have to stop this. It's been 3 hours and change. Simply because that Exploiter mission took longer. If it wasn't for Exploiter, I would have been finished by now. So the only showcase I was able to do today was, yeah, the only one I was able to do was Gauss, unfortunately. But thankfully, I was able to do the quest as well and show off a Call in action. So hopefully, let me check out Call again to see how he's doing. Go back to Earth. Of course, he's not going to offer you missions until the time comes for him to offer you missions. Drifter Camp. So I'm gonna end it after this. Typically, I would have done 2 or 3 Warframes about now showcasing, but between the quest and Exploiter, they took up a lot of time, so that's no good.
Tenno, good see you.
Yeah, so this is going to come sometime later. I believe this might come sometime next week or the week after next, where he starts to give you missions in order for Call to do. So I guarantee it'll be next week because there's no way they're going to just have it here. It's either next week or the week after next. He's going to be able to give you missions. And so for the moment, the only thing you can do is decorate this guy. Eventually, he'll start to give you bounties. And obviously, based on the bounties I believe he gives you, he's going to be able to rescue more of his Grenier brothers, which means this entire Farce area might actually turn into a Grenier base with multiple Greniers at different sections everywhere. So, yeah, so I'll say, let's see, what's this?
Pick up. Call, pick up this instant.
Call 175. Hear Blue Girl loud and clear.
Call. Did you really think that an Orican matron like my mother would allow a pack of filthy clones to set up camp on her estate? Did you not consider the kind of hell her knowledge of our association might bring down on my head?
Brothers need home. Call find friend. Brothers and Call. Make home here instead. Call, sorry.
Not good enough, Call. Not good enough. Whoa.
Okay, so this is Earth, and apparently the Entrati are in charge of certain sections on Earth, um, which is weird to me because I always thought Earth was a neutral free zone. Like the Entrati lived in space, they had their own properties in space, and so on and so forth. And the Orokin were also in space, and they own most of their stuff in space. I had no idea that the Orokin still had property on Earth that's owned by them. Like this whole, I guess this whole section, this whole plantation, maybe this whole continent is in itself, that and Cetus as well, are probably owned by Orokin. I have no idea. I thought the Orokin didn't give a damn about Earth, but apparently they do. So I'll end the stream here, and that's something new I learned today. The Orokin simply are still, I guess you could say, real estate owners as well. Um, they're not just simply explorers and scientists and tyrants and rulers. They're actually real estate owners as well. So they own a lot of land property. It's not just about machines and technology. They own land property as well. So yeah, that's something to know. Maybe the entire Earth is owned by the Orokin. Who knows? But I doubt it. It's probably a huge section of the Earth. But who knows? That's it. Tomorrow I'll finish up my last stream with regards to showcasing the mid to high level Warframes. And you know, if you know someone who's interested in these videos or interested in those showcases, tell them to check it out. I post most of them up on YouTube because after like 14 days on Twitch, they go into the can and they're deleted. So I saved them on YouTube. So if you ever want to go back over these videos again, you could always go on YouTube and check them out. So for right now, I'm just signing off. And Hildren would have been strong and beat that mission, but they didn't have shields. So yeah, kind of upset about that. Kind of also upset about the whole exploiter mission, how D hasn't fixed that for like a good 2 years yet. But I'm not nitpicking like too much. Like, most of everything in this game, it works perfectly. Like 90%, I would say 90% of everything in Warframe works perfectly, and 10% of things in Warframe don't work. Like exploiter, for instance, don't work, and random bug set door don't work, and of course, like certain Warframes don't work as good as you want them to, and that's why they have to always change up their builds and nerf certain things. And certain guns are too OP, and certain builds are too, well, not builds, certain operations with the operator synergy with the Warframes don't work as much as you want to, and certain things don't load in as fast as you want to, and certain I guess you could say connections with other people in crossplay don't work as good as you want to. So there are probably about 10 or 12 things that don't work as good as you want to in Warframe. Include one of those things are also drop rates, but those are just the small potato stuff, because majority of everything in Warframe works. Like I would say a good 95%, like anywhere from 85 to 90% of everything works in Warframe. If you don't get to a 90, then 85 is bare minimum. And if you're 85, anywhere from 80 to 80 to 90, you're still golden. It's when you fall into like this 75, 70 category, that's when you should start worrying, because that's when this 70 is coming very close to 60 and to 50, and you don't want that. But I would say like in Warframe, like a good 90% of everything works. And if you're really a nitpicky type, like 85% of everything works. But 85 is still good and still works. And in fact, those 85% things, if they work most of the times and every now and again they glitched out, that means they still work. It's not like it's permanently unplayable. That's why I say 90% of everything works in Warframe, and about 10% of things don't work in Warframe. Yeah, but that's it. That's all I got to say. This game has always been great and still great. And hopefully in the future when the Diverted Paradox come out, I could look forward for something truly special. But for right now, I'll just call it a day, and then tomorrow I'll do those last bits, those last 4 Warframes, because now I have to do 4 because I was only able to do Gauss today, so I got 4 left for tomorrow, and I'll see if I could condense all 4 of them real close together as fast as possible without going on for too long about it. So yeah, that's it.